Pete. Test back on squat box once again. America. I mean, not so much in Britain, because we have quite a staunch. Is that right word? Staunch. Quite affirmed. I don't even know if that's the right word, affirmed. But a quite solid. Solid is probably a better word. We have a solid, idea of how we will deal with a woman and her particular predicament of pregnancy, who wants to how's the best way to put this, terminate. That would be, I think that would be the best word. In Britain we have a legal system and a health system, because you can't just decide at any time in life to say, well, I don't want this baby, So we do have a pretty solid judicial system that deals with people who need or want to terminate pregnancies. We have that pretty much sorted out. We are still arguing about the fringes of it, where it's got to go up a week or two, for any abortion, and then we have a leniency for, threat to the mother and perhaps rape, a pregnancy that came out of rape, But I mean, you can be like, a couple of weeks away from giving birth. But if suddenly something changes within your womb, that mother has the right, especially, I would think, if she already has, 3 or 4 kids, or 10 kids, because, don't get me wrong, some people in Britain have 13, 14 kids in their life, It's not like, we all just have one kid and then we want to give it up, like the Christians would like you to believe about us, But some people find themselves, they already have 12, 13 kids to look after, of several ages up to the age of 16, and what they're supposed to put their life in danger for that one other life. I would say the 13 lives preceding that outweigh the humanity of that one life, I mean, a lot of people in America would like to think that, at conception, then you are a person. And I would say, well, I don't have any qualms about that. If that egg is, is being, inseminated, it probably is a life. How do you know when that happens? You've got no idea of knowing when it happens, so you can't say it's from this day or that day. So that would be a whole huge amount of arguments you're going to have in fucking court, right? But what I would also say to you is, well, yes, okay, let's grant you the fact that we do have conception means you're a person. Does that mean that you have all the holistic and rights of everybody else of any other age within the society? Well, that's not true, because we already know that we already ban people from smoking below the age of 16, in the UK, and in America, I believe that you can't smoke below the age of 18, but I don't know if that's true. It might be 16, but I know that you can't drink in certain places in America till you're 21. So we're already putting, infringements upon those supposedly, these inseminated eggs, you know what I mean? They have the right of the human being, but the rights of that human being are already being limited just by your state's laws, because they can't drink until they turn 21. They can't get married until they're 21. They can't get married at all if they're gay. So what if that inseminated egg is a gay egg? Would you want that egg to be brought to fruition, all you fundamentalist Christians? Or do you feel that, maybe gay eggs don't have the same rights as heterosexual eggs, and maybe they don't have the same rights until, well, let's face it, you're not allowed to have sex until you're 18 in America, whereas it's 16 in the UK. So, right there, there's a disparity. I mean, so what rights do these eggs, these inseminated eggs, actually have? You know what I mean? Are they actually going to have a life worth living compared to, what you would assume? Yeah. Oh, they're entitled to life, but they're only entitled to what a certain kind of life. I would start to argue in court that, so long as these eggs, which we don't know how they're going to turn out when they're born, so some of them are going to have good Christian lives where they're allowed to, live to the age of 16 and be able to drink, live to the age of 18 and be able to get married, and then live to the age of 21 when they're going to be able to, vote. I don't know what age that is in America. It's all different. Basically, in Britain, it's like, you hit 16, you can drink, you can join the army. You know what I mean? You can fucking get married so long as your parents give consent to it. But 16 is the age of basic consent in Scotland. America, it's like, basically in Scotland, the age of consent is 16. You might not be able to get a pub or a pub 18, arrest 18, a pub 21. I don't know, and although it's all different, because we don't know what fucking, things we're going to give people until we give them it, it's like, so why should we give anything, the right to anything, at conception? It doesn't make fucking sense to me. All they are is a sperm. Have you ever seen a sperm? I've seen a teenager drunk on the street fighting other teenagers. I've seen that and I want to stop that. But when people talk about stopping abortion because it's the death of life, yeah, I've also seen teenagers in the street stabbing each other to death, you know what I mean? And I've seen on TV 18 and 20-year-olds shooting each other and bombing each other to death from the 1960s all the way through to till today. 18 and 20-year-old kids shooting and killing people on camera, not just in the suburbs and in the tubes, and not just black people, white people going to black countries like Iran and Iraq and shooting and blowing people up, killing them in the hundreds, you know what I mean? And well, that's apparently something we should laud and give medals for, but apparently anyone terminating a pregnancy which is just a bundle of eggs in their womb, that apparently is something we should go out and shoot people over. We should go and shoot the doctors that do it. We should pillory the women who make that decision. And some people, I'm sure, if killing the doctors that perform abortions isn't enough, I'm sure some of these Christians, these proper Christian people who believe in God, I'm sure they would actually go out and shoot the mothers who are pregnant, saying that they are wrong for trying to abort their child. How does that make any sense? How does it make any sense to kill the woman who's pregnant with the child you're trying to protect? You know what I mean? Because that's where you're going. Because you can only shoot so many doctors, but eventually you're going to have to start killing the people who are trying to get abortions. Because that's where fundamentalism goes. That's where the Muslims have went. They're no longer, happy with like saying, "Use motherfucker to the rest of cunts," you know what I mean? Stop fucking our country up. You know what I mean? Stop affecting us. Now they're come to our country and blowing our country up. And that's what's happening, you know what I mean? We use fucking fundamentalist Christian fucktards. You're no longer going to be happy with killing the doctors. You're no longer going to be happy with passing legislation through your fucking crap fucking, commie, because that's what it's, communism. The Chinese are restricting their people to one birth or two births, you know what I mean? And now you're saying, no, we have to have empty heaven births, you know? It's just the opposite effect of what the Chinese are doing. And then you're going to say, I'm not communist, I'm not a fascist, I'm not trying to force you to do my will. But that's what you're doing. You're not forcing God's will, so don't give me that shit, because God even written his book. The book that you say you believe in, nobody can understand the mind of God. But you're trying to tell us you understand the mind of God better than the mind of God, and you're going to go and kill people for it? You're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking fucktard. You don't know what the fuck you're saying because you're crazy. You are fucking crazy. God doesn't talk to you. It's your fucking insane brain that talks to you. And you try to tell other people how God thinks. When God even written his own fucking book that you believe every word is true, tells you nobody can understand the mind of God. So what the fuck are you shouting and bawling about, you fucking idiot? Yeah, you're shouting and bawling about something you're upset about. Well, let's face it, we all get upset about shit. But normally the next day you sober up and you say, "Oh, I'm really sorry," you make apologies for it, you know what I mean? But you don't run about forever thinking, "I know better than God." Do you know better than God? Well, if you don't know better than God, then shut the fuck up. That's all I've got to say. I'm fucking finished on this subject, you know what I mean? And you should be finished on that subject as well, because you should think, do I know better than God? And God doesn't talk to you. He says that in the Bible. God doesn't prove himself. If you're hearing voices, it's a voice of Satan. You need to refuse to listen to him. Then you will be a godly person. Godliness is silence. What you're hearing is Satan speaking to you. Swanji fucking fly.